How come you always do the little one tap?
Because I'm
Don't
a tap
you find
dancer.
that you
I'm a tap dancer.
hyperextend your knee when you do that kind of backwards move?
Well, I have to because otherwise I can't bend it. I extend it because if I bend it, it hurts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you know.
All right, let's try again. Do, 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 do. Hey, do, 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 do. Hey, do, 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 do. Hey, do, do, do.
What are you wearing that hat anyhow?
All right, fine. I'll take the hat off.
It's a nice hat. Let me see it. It's good.
Of course, it's good.
Okay.
Well, you think you can have on a nice
looks like a tea cozy.
Cliff Huxtable sweater?
It looks like a tea cozy to me.
What's a tea cozy?
You know, they put over a teapot. You ever drink tea when you're a boy?
Not with a hat over it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's not a hat.
All right, come on, sit down, Pastor Lawrence.
Yeah.
How dare you? And this is good money that I spent for this hat, you know.
Right, Goodwill.
It says faith,
Good money from Goodwill.
hope, love. Here, you see it? Hey! I almost got you. You have good reflexes.
I know.
That means you used to run from the law a lot. So,
Yeah.
Pastor
He
Lawrence,
fought the law and the law won.
we're going to talk about kids today.
Children. I don't have kids.
Sure you do.
No, sir. Goats have kids.
Okay, fine.
We have children.
We have
now,
children.
sir. Yes, sir.
So, Pastor Lawrence,
Yes, sir.
you're now into another stage of parenting.
Oh, yeah. I'm a granddad.
You're a granddaddy.
Grandpa.
How many grandkids?
No, I have 2 grandchildren.
All right. See, I'm still trying to find a way in that grandkid thing.
2 granddaughters. Yeah, beautiful granddaughters.
How old are they?
7 and 4. Well, no, I'm not 4, Grandpa. I'm 4 and a half. Okay, 4 and a half. Oh, yeah. Actually, they were with us for the Christmas break. It was lovely.
Funniest thing that they did?
Funniest thing. Oh, you know what? I decided to get some balloons, and I found some old balloons I had in my office that are like
That were already blown up? Just sitting there?
Just sitting there. So some of them were kind of too soft, you know, but some of them were. So we blew, but we had fun with balloons. But the funniest part of the balloons was this. I decided to do a trick. Let me try this. So we had in the kitchen, in the you know, in the laundry room. You should see the eyes of these children as they waited for the balloon to fill up.
All the way to the top?
Yeah, and then I was trying to get the balloon off the tap, and it burst. And they go, ah! As I have it on video, it's funny. But
So
you know,
I just want to look at the camera
it was just
and I want to tell those that are going to listen to this, don't ever do that. That's a tradition that needs to be buried.
no, they said don't try it at home without your parents. That's what it is.
I don't know that I've
they
ever
said.
heard of anybody blowing up balloons
With water.
and waiting with anticipation for the balloon to
No,
break.
the water, you should, when
Well,
you finish.
maybe it's Adventist culture. No, I don't have time for that after this. After this,
You see, you got, children are to be enjoyed. You see,
So-
you need to make sure you enjoy. Listen, man.
So what happens now when your granddaughters go back to their parents' house south of the border, right? And they say, "Oh, my grandfather, who's such a genius, he showed us how to blow up a balloon with water to the edge until it almost
Well,
breaks."
I gave them
what's
a packet of balloons to take back with
my
them.
Sister Lawrence, I pray for you without ceasing constantly.
Yeah. But children are lovely.
Yeah.
You know what? If I knew that grandchildren were so lovely, I would have had them first. Yeah. I think it would be a nice idea to have grandchildren.
You know
first.
what? Yeah, because here's the thing. There are things that we now have come to know through life experience that you can't come to know until you come to know it.
Philosophical indeed.
Deep.
You cannot come to know it until you come to know
Come
it.
to know it, yeah.
Sounds good to me. So, how are you going to come to know grandchildren without coming to
No,
have
I mean, there's no option. Like, you
Okay.
can't get to grandparenting first, so I'll just wait.
Oh, you can?
I'm just going to wait
Wait until
patiently.
then. And you have to wait, because there's nothing you can do about it.
So, what do you think it looks like right now? Like, during this pandemic, kids are at home.
Children.
Children are at home.
Thank you
The
very
kids of the children are at home. You think it's tough right now?
Listen, I feel sorry for you guys. Because those of you who are parents now,
Yeah.
having to be on Zoom day after day, it must be very taxing. You know, I can't imagine when children have been in classes all day, 5 days a week,
Yes.
with their friends,
Oh,
and now
yeah.
you're just sitting there going,
Listen, one of my kids to cope, and kids, sure, children.
I know, whatever you have anyway.
I mean-
I gotta talk to your wife. She knows their children.
Sure,
and
no
not kids.
problem.
Only goats have kids like that.
But okay, fine. So let me just tell the story because you're not going to let this kid-child thing go, and I don't want to fight with you on camera, especially since.
Wait, let's do it, man. You want to fight?
What?
You see,
All right, I want you to sit down for a minute. No, I want you to sit down for one quick second.
Yes, okay.
When you sit down and you look that way, I'm going to put you in a headlock until your third lumbar snaps.
Lumbar.
I've been doing some research. So one of our kids now,
Yes, sir.
I think that it's been tough for her. She is an extrovert to the max. You know, like some people, they are energized by being around people. Whew. You know what she's been doing during this pandemic? For lunch, she goes and has a bath. Like, you can imagine. I knock on the door, and all I can hear is this little voice. I'm indisposed right now.
I'm indisposed.
Yeah, so she'll eat a little lunch, go and have a bath, and then go and sleep.
Oh,
So-
that's fantastic.
Oh, she's living her best life.
Yes.
Now, I know I'm going to get in trouble for doing this, but I'm going to say this as well. So I think one of these baths may have really sweet her. So she went to go and sleep, and I asked, well, what time are you supposed to go back to school? And maybe she didn't hear me. She gave me a different time. So I went back and I said, well, it's now the time to go back to school. She's like, oh, did I tell you that? It was supposed to be an hour earlier. I'm so sorry, Daddy. Well, can you go and finish the rest of the day? She's like, look, I've missed so much of school today. I'm just going to go to sleep and start fresh tomorrow.
I like her already.
Brethren style!
Yeah. But you see, that's how children are.
Yeah.
In my day, that would never be the case.
And you know what? I wasn't upset with her.
Oh, that's good too.
I mean, we grew up at a time, like when we would have been kids, where you don't miss school. You're at school every single day, whether you're sick, you're not sick. Like parents, it's almost like perfect attendance was the thing. But during this pandemic, I don't understand. I mean, I'm not a child psychologist, so I don't understand how a child's mind works. But I recognize that we've had to really ease up on them because they're going through the pandemic also.
Yeah.
You know, like when I see that parents are still like, and God bless them, everybody can do whatever they want to do. But when your child is in a box, and whether it's in an apartment, a condo, a house, a duplex, whatever it may be, it's not the same like going to school. When the recess bell rings, you're outside, you can run as far as you want to, you're playing soccer, you're playing whatever, and now they're just boxed in.
All in the same
And maybe,
room.
I don't know, I mean, some parents might disagree with me, because I know that I've heard some parents saying, no, we have exactly the same structure
routine.
as it was. I don't know if that's working.
For some it doesn't. For some people it doesn't.
I don't think it's
but you see,
working.
if you lived in my day, when I went to school,
Yeah.
the only way you could miss school
Yeah.
if you got wet in the rain on the way to school and then you
Right.
didn't have any clothes to wear.
Yeah.
Well, you know, so what? Guess what? Some of us used to walk deliberately in the rain and even got wet.
Who are some of us? Was it you and your friends?
Some of my friends, yes.
I want you to face the camera.
But some of my friends who are still alive today will remember that. So the teacher got wise. You come to school wet and you think he's going to send you home. Oh, we have some clothes in the closet. You can change.
I would love to see, and I bet you those clothes on you were tight.
Yeah, didn't always fit. But you had to stay in school.
And I know why they were tight, because you used to have cream of wheat porridge every day.
No.
I know for a fact, Pastor Lawrence, that the clothes that your teacher or principal would have provided, yours would be tight.
No.
Cream of wheat porridge.
I was never that, but I never used to have cream of wheat. Cream of wheat is new to me.
What did you used to eat?
Roast breadfruit
For breakfast?
and roast yam.
You didn't find that you were dozing off in class?
No, man.
You can't have that much complex starch at 7 a.m.
And I had to walk at least a mile and a half to almost 2 miles to school. So you by the time you got to school, you're awake. You're not tired.
Pastor Lawrence, your mom used to give you breadfruit,
breadfruit, you name it.
Yam, dasheen.
Listen, I used
for
to
breakfast.
I used to go with my mother, especially when my father had gone to England. We used to walk to the field, dig the yam, cut the banana, come back home
And cook it?
No, not that cook. We had things cooked before that. Or
No, I want you to tell the truth and
I
shame the
used
devil.
to roast breadfruit. Yes,
hold on a second.
and then we come home and had tea and breadfruit.
You
And
don't
then I
want to
go
admit
school.
it, Pastor Lawrence.
Why?
You used to have to dig your breakfast, bring it
No,
home.
that would be for the
and then-
dinner. That would be for the dinner. You do that for the dinner. You do that for the dinner. But you see,
whenever Jamaicans are busted, their collarbone always starts to scratch them.
You know, I can, if I had taken the pictures, I'd show you. I used to go to the field with my father. And then
No, I know you used to go with him, but you know what? Here's what I'm seeing. Because I don't feel like you're a morning person.
Yeah, man, I'm a morning person. You know what time I got up this morning? 4 o'clock.
No, you can't say that because you got up this morning. That
Every
you're a morning
morning I got up
person.
early. Every morning. But
listen, can you guys see Pastor Lawrence waking up at 4 to go and dig yam banana and then come home and still
go to school? Yeah.
No wonder you're sleeping. That's why in the last episode when you're talking about getting beaten, it's hard to listen when you're exhausted.
Listen, man, I'm trying to tell you something.
Excuse me.
Never mind. But listen,
Pastor Lawrence, that's why you're so hard of hearing. You were tired.
But listen, I used to get to school. I used to get to school before many other children.
Of course you did.
Yes, because you come home, you eat, and you leave and walk to school. You asked.
So why were you early?
Because I didn't want to be late.
No, I feel like you were early because you had to work your breakfast off.
That's a part of it too. And then you have lunch at school.
What would you eat for lunch when you start that way?
Well, yeah, you have more of the same. Yeah.
So hold on a second, Pastor Lawrence.
Boiled banana and yam and dumpling.
Would you open it as if, wow, I wonder what's in here today?
No, we used to have dinner at school sometimes. And so you go to school to have the school dinners, right?
Well, you know what?
And then sometimes, I don't like the way you're laughing at me now because
but Pastor
you
Lawrence,
say
listen,
I wasn't a child. And
no, but what I'm saying is, because I know the portion sizes within your culture. It's like 2 big green banana fingers.
Yes.
And if your mom is as Jamaican as I know that she was, she probably left the skin on the banana.
That's the best way to cook it. Because otherwise it mash up. You just cut the banana, so put it in the pot, boil it.
Did she at least peel off the thing that would say Chiquita?
No, we never had Chiquita because we plant our own banana. So I know what you're talking about. My childhood, my childhood was not like other people's childhood, because we lived in the country. So and we planted our own bananas.
But those are some good days though, huh?
Listen, man, those were glorious days. And I tell you, all the children of my era who had to go through that.
Yeah, like when I listen to kids talking from the Caribbean about their childhood, and when I think about our childhood, like I had a great childhood. Like I grew up in a neighborhood where there were tons of kids, right? So you know we would do street hockey, basketball. You guys call it dandy shandy, but really it's dodgeball. Can I just break that free? Dandy shandy is not a real sport. It's called dodgeball. So please, Jamaicans, stop sending your kids to school and asking the teachers if they wouldn't mind if they could play dandy shandy.
Well, it's dandy shandy and dodgeball. It's nice. We like it.
Pastor Lawrence, listen. When you put stuff in the socks, and this is the difference, and that's why I'm glad that Canadians made it into dodgeball. Because dandy shandy is a dangerous sport. My sister, my older sister, she used to put like rocks in a sock and tie it up, and then she would only go back 3 steps. Can you imagine trying to miss the? Anyways, that's a whole.
But have you grown tough and strong because of that?
Yeah, but you guys had a great childhood. I mean, like, think about the fact that your parents could trust you guys to like walk for miles and know that you would come home safely. Like, I mean, we are helicopter parents over here in North America. You don't know who you could trust, whatever.
And that's again because of this whole family thing, this extended family, this village. Because everybody along the way was your parent. We have 4 children, and they're all different. Even though 2 of them are twins, they're different. But I've learned to be more patient, more understanding, less, aggressive, and saying, because sometimes you carry over from your childhood to your children. So, and I have learned that you can look at life so much differently and enjoy it without all the pressures that have to come. And I've also learned that you need to be a bit more modern dad. You need to go. You got to be less of the old-fashioned kind of a dad.
I've learned that you've got to look at them when you're talking to them more. In our culture, you don't always have to make eye contact. I mean, parents expect you to look at them when they're talking, but they don't necessarily look at children to see like these cues. I have learned that if I really want to know how they're feeling, I've got to watch their body language. And in watching their body language, complete transparency, I have identified moments where I've failed more frequently as a parent because I intended to give them a principle, and at times based on my response, I may have broken their spirit. And so this pandemic has been really, really good because everybody's in the house. Even when you fail, it's almost like the pandemic has created more opportunities to get it right.
Yeah, that's true.
So I know that there are people that are at home and they're like, "Oh, I can't wait for them to go back." I have watched us grow together as a family because we're home. And you know, it's interesting. We have a saying: "What's the most important thing outside of God?" And during this pandemic, they don't flinch anymore. They'll say, "Family." Because at the end of the day, I don't care what you find out there. I mean, there are good people no matter where you go, but very rarely will you find the same love and support outside of your home that you will find
and that
in your
love
home.
and support, you know, is as we wrap this up, you know, I find that one of the big things I've learned from our children is to be more accepting of people.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in our day and age, we can be very, I don't like this, but our children will accept everybody for whoever they are. And, you know, I might say, oh, I have a Chinese friend. Dad, why are you saying that? You have a friend.
Yeah, just a friend.
Yeah,
why does it matter?
Why does it matter? You know who the person is. So those are the things that I think we can learn from our children as well as we take away. And I've learned from our children that, you know, life is to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
And so I can enjoy. And you know, they laugh at me sometimes.
Yeah.
But I laugh too. I say, well, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the presence too.
Yes.
I say it often in different spaces, but I really do believe it now more than ever before, that if you're not there, you miss out.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful because I think even post-pandemic, and I'll say
you got to carry it. Carry it on.
By no means will I pastor the same way ever again.
No, that's right.
Because when we are out there, nobody is coming to our homes to do what we are doing out there.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
and
correct.
so therefore, I'm like, look, I don't want to hear about the memories. I want to be in the memories.
You got to make the memories.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to make
you know, like
the
when people
memories,
tell the story, they're telling you, and they'll say, "Oh, I know you weren't there, so let me just tell." I've decided I don't want to have that kind of lived experience by the time I'm a little bit further on down the road. I want to be able to say, "Well, do you remember, Dad? You were wearing the wrong shirt, and we had to go and get a new shirt because your shirt was too tight." I want to be in the story with them.
And that's true. All of us need to do. And I think, as you said, post-pandemic, we must continue to do the things which make us as children and parents happy together. And that's, I'm so glad for FaceTime though, because all my children are far away.
Yeah, but I've seen you working FaceTime. I don't know if that's been a blessing for them.
FaceTime, like, you know, face-to-face. No, I mean FaceTime.
No, I mean with the technology. Because I remember one time I was watching you trying to answer a FaceTime call coming in, and you kept hitting the red button, which means ignore.
Oh, is that what
it's
it
the
meant?
green one.
I think red meant get my attention right away.
I think one of these days we're going to talk about technology.
And the adult.
And the adult.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is I want you to do the workshop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know, I'm good at that. I can work. Don't know about shop, though. Yeah. So we learn technology from our young people. And that's fantastic. So I just need to say to them, even your children, I can go and say, how do you do this?
And they just know.
I don't know where they learn it from.
They just know.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the point, Pastor Lawrence. Even though you're a grandparent and I'm just a parent,
just exercise.
I think we're beginning to understand that we learn more when we allow ourselves to see them as people.
Yes.
And not just these
little children.
Yeah.
Teach us.
Yeah.
Little children.
Yeah.